Hello everybody, and welcome to the first drawing video of the Be Brilliant in Bucks 2021. My name's Emma and I'm going to take you through a couple of drawings today. These ones are specifically aimed at rainbows and brownies. That doesn't mean you older girls can't have a go, of course you can, but these videos are aimed at the younger children. So we're going to draw a donut to start with, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with a round, squashed circle shape, just like this one. Now, once you've got that shape and you're happy with it, the next thing we're going to do is in the middle of your shape, you're going to do a big, long C shape, like a curly cur. A nice long one, just like that. Inside that curly cur, we're going to do another one, but backwards. And as you can see, just with those three first lines, we've already got our donut shape. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put some icing on the donut. So we're going to follow this line round the top, and when you get round the corner, you're going to bring that in and you're going to wiggle your icing all the way along to that side. Now, if you make a mistake at any point, it's fine because we've got a rubber. Some of you will have separate rubbers, some of you might have them on your pencils, but that's fine. We're also going to tidy up all of these little lines around the top here, and we're just going to keep the line that we want. So I'm just going to tidy up all of these little lines around here and just keep the one line that we like the best. So now you can see we've got a lovely donut, but it still needs a little bit more decoration. So I think we need to put some sprinkles on it. And for that, I'm just going to draw lots of small rectangles. Couldn't think of the word then. Rectangles. Lots and lots of them. So I'm going to finish off covering mine with rectangles, and I will see you back here in just a moment. There we are, all covered up with sprinkles. Now what we're going to do is we're going to think about the colouring. Now, when I do the colouring, I might keep cutting the video because otherwise the videos end up really long. But you can pause the video whenever you need to, so that you can keep up with the colouring, okay? What I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to colour some of the sprinkles. And I'm going to colour them yellow and orange, and I'm going to leave some white. The reason I'm doing this is I've decided that my donut's going to be like a lemon flavoured donut. So I'm going to have some lemon sprinkles, some plain sprinkles and some orange sprinkles on the top. So I'm doing some yellow, and I'll do some orange, and I'll do leave some white. Now you notice that I'm using pens. That's because I happen to have pens here, but you could use anything you wanted for this sort of drawing. You could use pens, pencils, crayons. You could even paint if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. You could get super creative and make your donut out of collage, where you cut out lots of different coloured bits of paper. I quite like doing things like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on, and I'm going to colour in the icing. But I need to be careful that I don't go over the top of these white sprinkles. So I'm going to colour, and join me again in a minute when the colouring is all done. I'm halfway through my colouring, and I've just realised there's a line that I forgot to put in. And that is the second icing line, which goes on the inside of the icing. So I'm just going to make that line there. You just wiggle from one side of the C to the other side of the C. And now I'll carry on with my colouring. There we go, all coloured. Now I just need to colour the donut part, and for that I've got a light brown colour. Now remember, we had to put this extra line in here, so I'm going to remember that I need to colour underneath that, because that's some of the donut under there. Now we have made ourselves a nice lemon donut here, but you don't have to make yours a lemon donut. You can make yours whatever kind of donut you like. When I've done these with girls before, I've made chocolate donuts. I've made Alice in Wonderland donuts, where I had red icing with lots of white roses and things on it. You could make, I made a toothpaste flavoured donut once before, using all different toothpaste sort of colours. So be creative. Just, you know, make it up as you go along. That's what half of drawing is all about. So here we go. We're just going to finish up the colouring. And that doesn't mean we're finished yet, because remember I said about the black pens? Well, we're going to use those next. So like I say, you can use whatever kind of black pen you've got. It is better if it's a pen though and not a pencil, because pencils tend to smudge a bit. But you can use any type of pen. I'll show you, look, if we use the biro. And all we're going to do is we're going to go over the top of the outline. So this is using the biro. This is using the handwriting pen, the school handwriting pen. And they all do exactly the same job. And you'll see, once you have been round and done all of your outlining, it just finishes your drawing off and just makes it look really nice. So I'm going to do my outlining now, and then I'll see you for the end of the video. Here we go, guys. Look, I finished doing all of my outlining. Doesn't it look great? The other thing I've done is that I have signed my name, because it's my artwork and I made it, so I've signed my name. The last thing we need to do is just go round with the rubber and just rub out any of the pencil lines that you can still see. And then I think it's all finished. So well done. You've completed your first drawing. Join me again in part 2 of this video for another drawing specially designed for rainbows and brownies. Hello everybody, and welcome to part 2 of this video specially designed for brownies and rainbows. Now what we're going to do, you might have noticed that our page is the other way up this time. So last time when we were drawing, we had our page this way round, and this is called landscape. And this time we've got it this way round, and this is called portrait. What we're going to draw in our second drawing video for brownies and rainbows is, I thought it might be fun if we drew ourselves a castle. So castles can come in all different shapes and sizes, and they can be super easy to draw because all you need is boxes. So we're going to draw a castle out of boxes today. So I'm going to start down here with a square shaped box. Now you don't need a ruler, because when you look at walls in castles, they're never really that straight anyway. So let's not worry about a ruler. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another box on this side. Join it up with that one, and another box on this side. Now you can make your castle as simple or as elaborate, which means it's a fancy word for fancy, as you like. by just adding more or fewer boxes. So we've got 3 boxes so far. I'm going to add another one in here. Just like this one. And then I think I'll add a really tall one. Let's go all the way up here. What do you think? I'm going to put a box there. I'm going to do another box here and just bring it down so it lands on top of this one, so it's kind of hiding behind that box. Then I'm going to do another tall box, just like that. And then I think I'll do another box. Maybe I'll do another box here. And then I'm going to do another one here. So those are our boxes, okay? And that's how my castle is going to start. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put different details on that make all of the towers look a little bit different. We'll do it all one step at a time, so it'll be super easy for you, okay? Now this tallest tower, I want this tallest tower to have a nice pointy roof. Now when they have pointy roofs like these are called turrets. And as you can see, I've just drawn a triangle on the top. I'm doing a couple of little marks away from the triangle. And then I've just curved the bottom to make it look a little bit circular. I'm going to do the same thing on this turret here. And I think what I might do is I might add a little box on the side, and then I can do another tiny turret on here. That might be quite fun. And I think this one needs a turret too. What do you think? Now you don't have to put turrets on all of yours. In fact, I'm not going to put turrets on all of mine. I'm going to put, who's been to see a castle where there's these parts that go up and down, ready for the soldiers to fight behind them? They're called crenellations. That's a really big word for today. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to put some crenellations on. And across here as well, maybe. Here we go. And on this tower, it's just up, across and down, across, and up, across and down, across. This one, I think they might have to have a turret, because I think it will look nice with the turret. So I'm going to put a turret on this one. And then this one, I thought this one might be fun if we gave it just a normal sort of pointy roof. This end of the roof is called a gable end. So I've done a triangle on the top, and now I'm just making the triangle lines thicker. Now I can see lots of extra lines in here that I don't need. So I'm just going to take a moment to rub those out, and I'll be back with you in a second. And here we go, guys. We've done all the rubbing out. I think what we need to do with this tower is it needs to have something underneath it to stop it from falling off. So I'm going to add that on. Now we need to think about doors and windows. It's quite important, the doors and windows. We want to be able to see where we're going, and we also need to be able to get into our super castle. I'm just going to thin that tower out a bit there because it doesn't look right. So there we go, that looks better. So let's have a think about where we're going to put all of these doors or windows. I think we should have a nice big front door here. So I'm going to draw a line up the side and another line. And then I'm going to draw like a rainbow shape, an arch over the top. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some bricks all the way around the outside of my door. Now they can be all different sizes. They don't have to be perfect, but this is what old doors would probably look like. So I'm drawing lots of bricks all the way around the outside, and then I shall do that for my door. Now for the windows, you can put windows wherever you want to put them. I like to think of what each room could be when I put my windows in. So I think maybe down here we might have another door, just a small one, because this could be where all the food gets taken in for them to cook. So I'm going to have a nice kitchen window right here, and that's just an arch shape again with a line at the bottom. I'm going to have another window up here because this is where the cook and his family can live, and maybe 2 more windows here. 1, 2. So that's those ones done. On this side, actually on here, what I'm going to do is, instead of putting windows, I'm going to put arrow slits. And if you don't know what arrow slits are, you'll have to Google it and see if you can find out. Maybe you've been to a castle before and have seen some arrow slits in real life. Over here, I think what I'll do is I will put some smaller windows in again. I'm going to have one there, one on the next floor up, and then one on the next floor up. So we've got lots of lovely windows. This big building here, this I think is going to have a ballroom in it. So I'm going to do 2 lines up. I'm going to do a nice big window. 2 lines up, 1 across, and then I'm going to follow the line of the roof. So you don't have to put your windows exactly where I'm putting mine. This is important for you to do your own thing. But sometimes it's useful to have somebody to copy from, just until you get really, really super duper good at all of this sort of thing. Now, I'm going to do some more windows here, but they're going to be very tall and very thin. Just like that. Lovely. Lots of windows there. Now, what about this little tower here? Do you think this is going to be somebody's bedroom? I think it could be, so I'm going to put another window in there. And then maybe a couple more here. An arch there. One just behind that roof. One there. One there. And then there's going to be a couple more on this side. So we've got lots of rooms in this castle. Oh, I forgot about this tower here. Do you think this should have some arrow slits on it? I'm going to put a couple of arrow slits on it. And then a window and another window. So now we've got all of those windows. What we need to do is we need to make sure that the windows have got a window frame around them. And to do that, I'll show you on this one. We're going to do a long rectangle underneath, and then we're just going to do another arch over the top. So a slightly longer rectangle underneath and an arch over the top. Now I'm going to do that with all of my windows, and I will join you again when I'm finished. So there we go. We're back. All of our windows have got frames. The next thing I think what we'll do is we'll put flags up. So we need a nice tall flagpole. We'll put them on all the turrets, shall we? So another one there, a little one there, a much taller one there, and we'll put one just there, even though you can't really see it because of the size of the side of the wall, but we'll make it work. So I'm going to do some lovely pointy flags. So you notice I go up and down and up and then join the point. So let's do that together. I'm going to go up and down and up, and then on the bottom up and down and up and join the point. Now you don't worry about the flag going into the building because we can just use our rubber to take out those extra lines so the flag is in front. Now I'm going to do the same on this one. I'm going to go up and down and up. And we want all of the flags to be pointing the same way because it shows that the wind's going that way. So we can't see the point of this one because it's behind this one. And then we'll do one more. So we're up and down and up and to the point. So there we go. There's all of our flags. The next thing we need to do is we need to have a look at making these roofs, the turret roofs, look like they're tiled. And there's ways that you can do this. We'll show you on the big one up here. So if you do some lines that don't go all the way from one side to the other, but kind of stop halfway or a little way across, and then you just do a couple of little flicks up with your pencil, and all of a sudden it looks like it's tiled. So let's do it again on this one, and then I shall leave you to do your own ones. I'm going to go across that way and across that way and across and across and across. A few flicks up, and hey presto, tiled roof. So I'm going to stop there for a minute while I do the others and you guys carry on. There we go. Now the next thing that we want to do is we know that castles are generally made out of stone or big bricks. So we need to show that on our castle, but we don't just want to do lines and lines and lines and lines because it makes your castle look too busy. So what you do is you just do a few bricks here and there. So we're going to do a line. So we've got those ones there. And then I'm just going to put some up ones in. Up lines as well. It's the same principle as doing the roof. And I'm going to put a couple in here. And it just gives the suggestion that your castle is made of stone. And that's what we want. We want it to look like your castle is made of stone. So I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of patches on each of my towers. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. There we go. Now there's a few more details that we need to add before we can carry on and do the colouring. So what I'm looking at now is I'm looking at this building in the centre of our castle. And I think this is going to be like a ballroom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little like window frame around this window. Just copying the same shape on the inside of it. And then I'm going to put some stripes in. So that when we colour it in, we can make it like a stained glass window. This window here doesn't look very even, so I'm just going to make that slightly bigger. And that looks better. So, lastly, I think what we need to do is maybe put a window in the door so they can see who's there, in case any baddies want to get in, any nasty witches or anything. And I'm just putting some extra lines on here so that we can remember that that's made of wood. So that's all of our castle details. Now we're just going to focus on the castle today, but in my video anyway, but when you do yours, you could always add some bushes and lots of little curved lines will make good bushes. It's kind of like drawing clouds. You could draw some pine trees. So these are like Christmas trees. We just do lots of lines that just keep flicking out. And then you can colour them in and they look just like pine trees. Maybe you could draw a path up to your castle. You could draw a path to this one here. Even some more bushes. You could put a tree in. There's lots of things that you can do. You have to remember when you're drawing, we always use lots and lots of little sketchy lines because it makes them super easy for us to rub them out if we need to. So we're going to move on to the colouring now. I'm just going to do a little bit of tidying up. I've got some lines that I'm not very happy with. And then we're going to move on to the colouring. Okay. Now we're going to colour straight over this picture because we'll still be able to see the pencil lines underneath and then we can go over them with the pen like we did before. So I'm going to start today. I think I'm going to have a lovely, let's find the right colour. I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to have a nice blue for all my turrets. So that's the colour I've chosen. You can be creative and do whatever colour you like. We'll carry on after I've coloured the turrets. Next, what I'm going to do is I think these bits with the bits of the castle with the crenellations, I'm going to pretend that they were built first and I'm going to colour them in grey, in a stone grey sort of colour. So I'm going to do all of the bits with the crenellations, the up and down blocks on the top. I'm going to do all of those grey first. There you go, that's all my stone towers coloured. And you might have noticed that I've used a darker grey to go around the windows and the door. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a very light brown colour to colour in all of the turret towers because I think they're going to be a little bit fancier and they're a bit of a newer addition. Here we go. And be very careful to go round the windows. So I will see you again when I've coloured all of those in. There we go. So as you can see, I've also coloured in the window frames a brown colour. I've got that same brown colour here because I'm going to colour in the doors And I've chosen brown because the doors are going to be made of wood. So I'm just going to colour in this door. And then we've got our kitchen door over here as well, haven't we? So there's that one. Now we've still got this fancy bit of building in the middle here. Now I think I'm going to colour that in a bit of a different colour. I'm probably going to go with a nice pink. Now I remember when I was a little girl, I think maybe when I was a brownie, I had a pink My Little Pony castle. And I loved it. So I like having pink bits in castles. It just makes me feel happy. So you don't have to colour everything always brown and grey if you're doing castles. You make your castle whatever you want to make it. So they're going to have a nice pink. I'm going to call this the ballroom. I think they might be having a party in there. And the roof for the ballroom, why don't we go with a purpley colour? That looks like a pretty fancy building to me. So, that is a pretty cool ballroom. I like it. Now we're going to do the flags. So I'm going to choose I need 5 colours because there's 5 flags. So I've got yellow and red. I'm going to choose a green. I'm going to choose a blue. And then I think I will choose an orange. So these are going to be the colours for my flags. So I'm just going to colour the flags in and then I'll be right back. There we go. Look at these lovely bright flags. I also use the same colours to colour in the stained glass window, if you see there. And I'm just going to use the brown again to do the frame around the stained glass window. There we go. Now, the only thing that we need to do now for the colouring is we need to show where people are in the building. So if there are people in a room, I'm going to colour the window yellow because it means the light's on in there. So I know they're having a party. There's nobody going to be upstairs where the kitchens are because they're going to be busy making food for the party. So I'm going to colour that one in a darker colour. So wherever there aren't going to be people, colour your windows in dark. And wherever there are people, colour the windows in yellow. And it just makes your castle look like it's alive. That there are people in it and they're all having a lovely time, do you think? I think that party's going to be pretty good. So like I say, today we're not going to be doing the background and things, but you guys, you can put whatever background you like. You could put a moat round your castle if you wanted to. Remember, the moat is the bit full of water, like the pit full of water that stops anybody from getting to the people in the castle. Now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take our black pen again and we're going to outline the castle so that it looks amazing. So I'm going to start at the top here and I'm going to start with the flag and do another one here. There we go. And I'm just going to keep going. Going to try and keep on the lines that we already made. And don't forget the little lines that we did to show the tiles on the roof. They're really important. And it's just going to make everything stand out really nicely. So you keep going and I'll keep going. And then I will see you for the end of the video. And here we go, just finishing off the last bit now. And then we've got the important job of signing our artwork to do. There we go, last bit of flag. So there we go. Oh no, look, I've missed a window. Oh, and some of the lines on this bit of wall here. So there we go. I think I've got everything now. Just give it a double check. So like I say, I'm not going to worry about colouring in all of this, all of the grounds and things now, because you guys can do that in your own time. I'm just going to put some of the lines on here, all of the wood lines. There we go, a couple on there. That's one of the things I always do with lots of drawings, is I just go round and keep adding stuff. But for now, I'm going to leave it there. So what I'm going to do now is down in this corner, I'm going to sign it. And there we go. So I hope you've enjoyed your drawing videos, Brownies and Rainbows. Now I'm going to do another video, but it will be a completely separate video. And that's going to be aimed at the older girls, guides and rangers. But like I said to them, they can have a go at your videos. And if you want to, you can have a go at their videos. Okay? So have fun with your drawing. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I will see you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.